Oh, do not be fooled when you look at that flag that is flying at the top of the One America building. It is just blowing hot air this morning. Very, very warm air to start. We're also keeping a close eye on satellite and radar this morning because we do have some storms that are headed towards central Indiana. Not quite in Indy just yet, but as you can see from our 13 Doppler radar, they are on the way. Matt is going to break down exactly when for us in just a bit. But in the meantime, good morning and welcome back into your work week. Maybe you are starting school again for day 2. Yes, we're back in the swing of things, and yeah, back in that summer swing of these storms that keep popping up and headed our way.
I know, but we can handle it, right?
Yes,
the temperature is going to be a challenge today, but maybe, I guess I don't want to say this will happen when the showers come in. Maybe it'll cool us off, but maybe not.
I think it will.
Okay.
I think it will cool you off. The farther north you are, it'll cool you off faster.
Okay.
Farther south you are, you'll wait a little bit longer. There could be some decent wind. We get summertime thunderstorms in August, and so this is no different, but they could be extra gusty, and so that's why we have this level 3 severest. I want to show you the timing, though, of when these storms are possible. So level 3, all central Indiana, due to the chance for scatters to numerous severe thunderstorms. Not everyone may get a severe thunderstorm, but some of us will. And there could be winds up to 75 miles per hour. That doesn't mean everyone's getting that, though. I'm kind of talking about what are the maximum threats, right? What could possibly happen? And some folks may get some of these really nasty winds. We also may have some flooding in spots. We also can't rule out the chance for a stray tornado, but this is really more of a wind and lightning event with a lot of heavy rain. In August, the atmosphere is just bigger. It can hold more water, and when you get these downpours that tap into that, when it rains, it pours. 1 to 4 inches could be possible in some spots, maybe even a little bit more, especially in the green zone. That does include the Indianapolis area. But right now, Indy, we are dry. Our suburbs are dry. You have to go northbound by an hour, hour and a half before you start getting the storms right now. But we have partly cloudy skies to mainly clear, just depending on where you are. But my goodness, it's warm. Just a few hours ago, we were still in the 80s. We're now down to 78 here in Indianapolis. But look how unsettled the sky is all across the Corn Belt and into the High River Valley. We're going to be watching these storms pass on by just to our north. I'll show you that in a moment. But along this front, bigger storms are likely to develop and then eventually come towards Indiana and drop south this afternoon and evening. But we have some big downpours and storms. Northern White County, northern Cass County, and the northern half of Miami County, just north of Peru, even a couple severe thunderstorm warnings with some of these storms up closer by the Great Lakes. So we'll have to watch for those. Coming up, we'll talk about the timing of when Indy will finally get the storms where you live and the timing of those. But this morning, at least we're headed out the door all right for the most part, Lindsay. Okay.
Everything around here locally looking pretty good. We'll start with a look at our local traffic map where we are accident and delay free. Of course, if you are traveling north, as we mentioned, that's where that active stormy weather is, especially up the I-69 corridor. On your way to Fort Wayne, it's all traveling off to the east. So places like Huntington, that little stretch of 69 as you're coming up on that 469 loop. Certainly expected to be impacted by that severe weather that's 2 hour north. Back here locally, we do know that we're going to hear from NDOT today. Some updates on that Clear Path project here on the northeast side. Some dates when they're going to finally open up some of these last remaining travel lanes on 465, both eastbound and westbound. Otherwise, looking pretty good out there this morning, but we'll keep you posted with any new issues. Guys?
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, it is official. Marion County residents will pay at least $100 when registering their car in the state starting next year.
The city county council was able to make that supermajority that they needed to override the mayor's veto of the wheel tax a couple weeks ago. Callie Lichter has been following the new updates to this story and sharing what we learned from that big meeting last night. Callie, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, this has been a controversial issue after the council previously approved the proposal, but then it was vetoed by Mayor Joe Hogsett. But last month we were told by the council president she was confident they had enough votes to override that veto. So what does this mean for Marion County residents? Well, starting in 2027, drivers can expect to pay a flat $100 fee when registering a passenger vehicle. That goes up to $240 for a commercial vehicle. This money will help secure $50 million from the state to use on road repairs. That was only if the city could come up with that money first on their own. It was a match. 2 council members did flip their votes, helping to override the veto. Although that was met with cheers, there are still some on the council who are against the new tax.
Again, on the tax increase, look, no one wakes up and want to say, let's raise taxes. That's not what this is about. This is really about creating a long-term plan that ensures that we can fix our infrastructure.
We're giving people with exotic cars a tax break while asking people that are on fixed incomes to try to make up $100 for their registration.
13 News reached out to Mayor Hogsett's office. We still have not received a response. He was at the meeting last night to propose next year's city budget, but left before the override vote. Now, we will have more on the city's budget. That's coming up later this hour.
All right. Thanks so much, Callie.
Well, you just heard that, the cheers with that vote. There was also cheers as councilors adopted a proposal to ban new data centers from being developed in Marion County. This comes after months of Indy residents calling for this. It's not a done deal just yet. There is an amendment to the proposal, so it does have to go back before the Metropolitan Development Commission for final approval. But some people say it is still a step in the right direction to keeping data centers out.
Well, the former chair of Indiana's Utility Regulatory Commission is now suing the governor for, he says, firing him. Governor Braun appointed Andy Zay earlier this year to the commission, but then he demoted Zay after the agency approved a $71 million rate hike for AES. Now, in a lawsuit just filed yesterday, Zay said that is why Braun fired him. He also says it's illegal to fire him for a rate increase. So you can read more on the details of the complaint right now at WTHR.com.
A major development this morning in an investigation that we've been following out of Boone County.
Yeah, so a teenager we know, police have now arrested. He's accused of setting a fire to that building in downtown Zionsville. It happened at a former antique shop right in the heart of downtown along Main Street and had a lot of residents there concerned. Marina Silva joins us with the very latest on this arrest. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Now, while that suspect is 18 years old, we're still somewhat limited on the information that we can share. And that's because when the alleged crime happened, we're told that the suspect was 17 years old. Now, I want to show you what this building looks like about a month later. So if you look over here, you can see that this tarp is covering all of the damage and the charred outside of the building. There's still this caution tape here really stopping people from going up to the building, as well as the shards of glass still on the ground from that fire on July 10th. The Boone County prosecutor says a juvenile delinquency petition was filed this week and the teen is in custody. Prosecutors say the crime would be a felony if committed by an adult, and they plan to ask to move the case to adult court. Now, the fire happened July 10th at the former Kogan Antiques and Lighting building in downtown Zionsville. And at the time, officials said the damage topped $150,000, and the FBI was called in to help investigate. The building had been vacant since the owner's death, and we talked with nearby businesses after the fire a month ago who called the loss heartbreaking.
That building is an iconic building on Main Street. Everybody knows that building. So it's without question for the community going to be an emotional, I would think it's going to be an emotional loss.
So the prosecutor's office is filing that waiver to move this to adult court. That'll need to go through a hearing process before it's moved, and a hearing for that will be at a later date. Now, even though this did involve a juvenile, there is still some information that is public record. So I'll explain how that kind of works coming up at 6:30. Ladies.
Okay, that's important. Thank you, Marina. We'll check in with you soon.
Well, this morning we know one person is dead and 2 others injured after 3 shootings that took place in just 2 hours last night.
Police confirmed that someone was killed at the Budget 8 Inn. I want to show you the scene around 8 o'clock near 21st and Shadeland. Officers tell us it started as a fight on the balcony there of that motel. They say they're working to piece together a description of the suspect here.
30 minutes earlier, police tell us they also got a call from Village Plaza Drive near 14th and Arlington. That's on the east side. They say they did find one person in critical condition with a gunshot wound. That person was taken to the hospital. We're still waiting to learn more on that incident. And the most recent shooting happened around 9 o'clock near 38th and Midhofer. Police tell us the person found at this scene is in serious condition.
Well, if you have any information or even any security video that might help them see what happened in any of these cases, police do want to hear from you. You can also reach out to Crime Stoppers, and you don't have to give your name. Coming up on 6:10. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning. We're dry around Indy. I think that morning commute looks okay. When you look northbound, parts of Cass into White and the Carroll counties, even Miami County, we've got some strong thunderstorms skimming us. Coming up, we're going to time out when the rest of us will get some storms. We could have a morning cluster early, but then bigger storms will likely drop south this afternoon and evening. We'll time them out for you when we come back.